Hey guys, it's SLUSHIE, and today I'm going to be ranking the Halloween films in one video. We've done this before. I'm doing it again since we have another movie added to the list. So here we are, once again, at the crossroads of ranking the Halloween films. Starting off at number 11, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, the reason I got to talk about this. The first 20 minutes, the dream sequence is incredible. The ending is incredible. Both of those is what has my love for this movie, and I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie. I want to make that known. Uh Everything else in there, you really have to put your mind to. And sometimes I just want a fun slasher movie, man. I just want to sit back and enjoy a fun slasher movie. I don't want to think about things too much. It's a slasher movie. So in that aspect, I really, really gotta say it's a very bizarro movie. It'll make you like, what the hell is going on here? Type of movie. But in hindsight, it's not the worst thing you could probably ever watch. None of these movies are really terrible. I love the Halloween franchise, but this has to be the one that I'll put in the least amount. Based on the sole fact that only the first 20 minutes and the last like 10 or so minutes are the best part of the movie. Everything else is just kind of something that I kind of just, I just sit through without any real emotion about it, much like Michael himself. So that's that. Also, the kills are brutal, so that's a plus. But the next one, number 10, Halloween Resurrection.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
This is a what the hell is going on type of movie too. Except it's not as brutal or crazy as Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. There's a lot of things wrong with this movie, a lot of things wrong with it. Honestly, I can't even really tell you a time frame where I was super into it, but I can also tell you I enjoyed it a little bit more than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, based off the fact that there are parts that are entertaining and keep me invested into it. Specifically the part when Michael's in the house chasing after the lead, whom I don't even remember her name. Because quite simply, characters in this movie are forgettable. Once they die, you don't care. You really have no emotion towards the people that are getting killed, which I think is what's wrong with this movie. But it has some humor into it, which even though I don't really want that in a Michael Myers movie, I got to give it a plus because it makes me laugh quite a bit. And even the parts that aren't meant to make me laugh still make me laugh. And yeah, it's a tiny baby step up from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but still, nonetheless, a step up. So I'll put Halloween Resurrection is my number 10. Coming in at number 9, Rob Zombie's Halloween. So Rob Zombie's Halloween, I thought the movie was well done in his own creative way. And once again, like I said, in his way, which if anyone knows Rob Zombie, they know that he has a very different way to make movies. He always brings along the same cast and crew pretty much, so you're going to always get the same type of characters. And that's what happens in this one. And I think that this one is good in the second half. Whenever it gets to the actual fully grown adult Michael Myers, I think that's when it's at its best. Honestly, I could care less about the opening. While it explained Michael's origins, it also kind of leads to almost like a negative part of the movie because it explains that it tries to show you that he's human, but later on it shows pretty much that he's supernatural. So it's like, which is he? It's like Rob Zombie got confused himself in making this. Coming in at number 8, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, I think the thing that really set this movie back is the director. He had a specific idea that he wanted to get across because he wrote and direct this. He had an idea that he wanted to get across, which I can't necessarily say is bad, but after Halloween 4, I feel like this is a terrible continuation of Halloween 4, and almost you can't even call it a continuation, other than the fact that it quite literally ignores pretty much the twist ending of Halloween 4, and it kind of just says it's a big slap in the face to Halloween 4 fans, which you'll see why I take great offense to that later in this ranking. But Halloween 5 isn't the worst thing. I could sit back and enjoy this if I just completely ignore Halloween 4, which is hard as hell. But on a good day, on a really, really good day, whenever I'm just having the happiest day of my life, I will put my thoughts aside and simply sit back and enjoy this and try to see where the director is coming from. And sometimes I can really get into this. So that's why it's my number 8. It's not terrible. It's not the best thing. It's not the worst thing. It's just a movie. That's all it is to me. Just a movie. That's why it's my number 8. Moving on to my number 7. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
It must be the boogeyman. Here I come, boogeyman. As you know, I am really scared.
Now, after watching this quite a bit, I actually have a newfound more love for it than I did before. I don't know what I ranked it at before, but if it was lower than this, then I was mistaken, because this movie is actually really entertaining. Specifically, the theatrical cut. I hate the producer's cut still. That didn't change. I still hate that. It's garbage. It kind of ruins the reputation of this movie as its own. But the theatrical cut is awesome, and it has very good gore, very good brutality, and I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoy Halloween 6. I can say that without a doubt. But here comes the downside. Once again, the producer's cut really, really puts a negative feel on me for this entire movie itself, like theatrical cut or producer's cut. It really pisses me off because the producer's cut explains whose baby it is. And that is why I really, every time I put this in, I'm like, why would you do that? Why? But it's a good movie. It's okay if you take that aside. So what I can recommend is don't ever watch the producer's cut. My number 6, Halloween H2O. Now there's this is very debated amongst the Halloween fans in the community, and I think that this is it's a solid entry. There are a lot of problems with it, the CGI mask, the various different masks. But for the most part, the portrayal of Michael Myers was awesome. I thought it was very well done by Christopher Duran. The music is very Scream-esque, which it feels a little bit off, but I can take it aside because you do get some notable Halloween themes within the movie, so that was pretty cool. Though I wish it did feel more like a Halloween movie, besides the character Michael Myers. But it's entertaining and it's very well done. Now my number 5, here comes the top 5. So people will probably agree with me for the most part on this, but there's going to be one that people are going to be really going to be like, oh, what the hell? Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, 1981.
The clinic.
It's raised up in the list. I know that much. The music in this is phenomenal. The direction, while this movie is pretty much a mistake, it shouldn't have been made. It's entertaining, a very good portrayal of Michael Myers. For what it is, as a Halloween sequel, I don't really see a major problem with this, other than the fact that it really, to me, genuinely does not feel like a full-on continuation of the first movie. There is an aspect to it. Something about it just really feels off to me. Every time I watch it, after I watch Halloween, the original, I just cannot simply see the same person as Michael Myers, which it isn't really, but you're supposed to be able to watch this and be like, oh, it's the same night. But it doesn't feel the same to me. Everything else seems correct, except for the portrayal of Michael Myers. While it is awesome, and the characterization of Michael Myers is really cool, it just feels off. But nonetheless, it's a very good, entertaining movie with good kills. And yeah, Halloween 2 is my number 5. And most people, it's like their number 1. But anyways, coming to my number 4, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Halloween 3. Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
Now, I think this one's been demoted a little bit, so that's interesting. But Halloween 3 is a very original film. A lot of people are pissed about it because isn't with Michael Myers. Michael Myers isn't in the movie. People got pissed about that, which is fine. Throw hissy fits. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm somebody who appreciates horror in general, and I think that it told a very interesting horror story, not just a Halloween recycled over and over story. As much as I love the sequels, I kind of wish they would have kept with the anthology series, but sadly, because this movie bombed so hard, they never continued it. So, guys, continue it, please. I would love to see a TV series with it. I would pay for that. But, anyways, it's a very good movie. Good gore, good kills, very intriguing story, a good villain. There is a lot of weird things to it, like a super old guy messing around with a super younger girl. That was a little cringy, but I could blindside myself for a few minutes while that's going on to appreciate this movie for what it is. So, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Coming to my number 3 is Halloween 2018. Now, let me explain where this is my number 3 and not higher up. This movie is awesome. I enjoyed this. One of the best theater experiences I've ever had. First time I've gotten to see a Halloween movie in theater, so this will always holds a special place for me in my heart. Okay? But the thing that's missing from this mostly is the stalking. This movie is heavily lagging stalking, which was a letdown for me. When I watched this, I knew that there was something that was off about it for me. That was it. After being able to sit here all this time and think about what was so off about it, I finally realized it wasn't the lack of Loomis. Whereas that was kind of a saddening part that obviously he's not in there because he died. R.I.P. Donald Pleasance. But the thing that really is bad that let me down about this is the lack of stalking. There's times when he does walk around and stalk people, yes, but there's none of it really stalking from the shadows, watching from the shadows before making the kills. It's always just him, few seconds, him watching, and then boom, 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 kill, kill, kill. It's a very fast paced movie. If you like fast paced movies, you will love this. And granted, I do love fast paced movies, but as a continuation to the original, especially 40 years later, I didn't expect it to move so fast paced, but it did. And for some people, that's a blessing. For some people, it's like a letdown, which for me, it's a letdown. I won't call it a curse because a curse would mean I completely hate the movie, but it was a letdown for me. And I've realized that now. So that's why it's my number 3, not higher. It was my number 2, I believe. But coming into my number 2, this will probably still piss people off, but the original Halloween.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
Now, this was the third Halloween movie that I saw, so I had seen the sequels before I seen this one. So I think that's why I hold my next one in a higher light than I do this one, despite this being the one that started it all, the high and mighty Halloween 1978. It's the classic. I love it beyond words. There's nothing bad for me to say about this. The stalking, the suspense, the action, the tension, just the soundtrack, the direction, the cinematography, everything about it is awesome. Incredible. And nothing but great to say about this movie. It's an immortal classic, and it forever will be. Halloween 1978 is my number 2. Coming into my number 1 is the first movie I ever saw in the Halloween franchise. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Ava.
I cannot express to you how much I love this movie. I really cannot. This is the first one that I saw when I was little, and I have such a good fond memory of this movie. And I think that's why I have it so high on my list at number 1, is because while there are some things that are off about it, and I can totally see where people are coming from, despite the fact that I find this film completely flawless at times. It depends when you ask me. Sometimes I can see the flaws, sometimes I try not to. The ADR is off. You can totally tell that their lips are moving whenever their voices are not, or when they're talking and their lips aren't moving. That's a little odd, but I can take it away because this movie is freaking awesome, and I love the portrayal of Michael Myers. The emotional story with Jamie Lloyd and Rachel, that was incredible written. Michael Myers coming, the way that Michael came back was incredible. I loved it. And just a bold opening in the best opening in the entire franchise with the farm Halloween-esque, the Halloween opening. And also, not to mention, this is the one movie in the series where you can visually, physically tell that it's Halloween based on what's going on. You see trick-or-treating. You can tell that it's fall. That's all I really want in a Halloween movie, and this one nailed it it checked off every single box for me. And I truly cannot say anything bad about the genetics of the movie. There are some small issues, but it doesn't take away from the movie for me, and that's why I gotta say it's my number one, and I freaking love Halloween 4. Shoulder pads or not, I love Halloween 4. Anyone who's seen the movie, they'll know what I mean. But yes, that is my Halloween ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you enjoyed this ranking. Let me know if you want me to rank any more franchises. What's your favorite Halloween movie? And comment down below what your favorite Halloween movie is, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Wherever she is, that little child is in mortal danger.
Myers has been locked up since before she was born. He's never laid eyes on her.